By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
You're listening to FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants, and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website, dkpco.com.au, or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
With this great sporting nation who has yet to embrace fully the world's greatest game, and for so long of trying to have the game accepted. And when I'm up to the big football field in the sky, I just want people just to remember I told you so.
And suddenly the complexion of the game changes. Let's hope it doesn't, but this is the best period for Iran in the match. Ali Daei, danger for Australia here, the flag's down! It's an equaliser!
You just feel for them, not just the boys, they are representative of so many people who make this game their life. It's just, I can't say anything, mate.
All right.
Especially as they have the impetus. Aloisi, Cahill, Cahill! Tim Cahill has done it again! What a goal by Tim Cahill! 2-1 Australia! Oh, it's a wonderful moment in Glasgow. And Tim Cahill has come off the bench and maybe won the match for the Socceroos.
You're listening to FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Cambiasso. This is where Argentina can be very patient indeed. I've watched their youth teams do this. Just play the ball endlessly around the edge of their opponent's penalty area, then suddenly break with devastating consequences. Saviola, Cambiasso. Cambiasso! They've done it! They've done it! And scored a fantastic goal! How many passes did they put together there? You'd need a calculator.
FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website, dkpco.com.au, or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Western United, can they find something here?
Big chance, Barissa! He's done it again!
And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Ferreira, his first
presented by Simonds. It's the Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio. Well, with the NPL 3 juniors top of the table and with the senior men given a chance this weekend to do the same, it's very easy to feel good about the state of Western United at the moment. Welcome to the Green Room, presented by Simonds Homes, the great Australian builder. I'm Josh Parrish, and beside me is not Lachie Flanagan, but Nick Dubano. Lachie still getting out of isolation, unfortunately. But Nick, great to have you on board.
Well, for 5 hours later, if we did this show around midnight and we went for an overnight time slot, Lachie would be out. I mean, this is the last few hours of his isolation. He's chomping at the bit in Ballarat to get out of his ISO, and we wish him all the best. Hopefully, he's feeling all good after, testing positive. But it's great to be here, Josh. I mean, it's a big week for Western United. They've had the week off. They're getting ready for a huge week on the road, 3 games which will determine their fate heading into finals. Really exciting period.
And you've been there for many of Western United's games, filing for Newswire, Nick. What have you made of their season today? It's been a real wild ride.
It's been very enthralling. I mean, between all 3 Melbourne teams having them up near the top, it's been great. From last season, it was obviously, and our next guest, Lachie Wales, can probably tell us a little bit more about it. From last season being such a tough year, such a tough end to the season when things were looking quite promising, to missing the finals in the end by quite some way, to this year. I mean, at the start of the season, there was a bit of doubt. Where's this team at? Some were sort of scoffing at the idea of them finishing high up the table, but they've proven a lot of people wrong. And then again, when they had the loss against Wellington, they've come back, they've gone the road to Tassie, and they've won 2 games in a row, kept 2 clean sheets, scored 8 goals, and right now they're in control of their own destiny to win the Premier's Plate, which is amazing considering how well City's played this year, how well Victory's played this year as well, and they've been able to be the constant the entire way through.
Well, we've been shorn of Lachie Flanagan's participation today, but we had to get a Lachie on the show somehow. And this weekend, he will be facing his former side, the side where it all began for him on Gosford. Such a crucial game, as you covered there, Nick. Lachie Wales, welcome back to the Green Room.
Hey, boys. Thanks for having me. It's good to be back and good to be chatting to you tonight.
No, it's our pleasure, mate. You've been absolutely thriving this season. Do you feel like you've come into your own this campaign?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been the campaign where I've played the most games. So, under John and the coaching staff, my role's been really simple. And when you have good coaching and good players around you, it's easy to do your role each week. So. Sometimes as an attacker, it's hard. You think you're playing well, and maybe statistics don't show that, or things like that. So it's been an awesome year, and just for the team to be doing so well, I guess it it does get you a bit more noticed. People start talking about why are they doing well, and starting to name a few of our players now. Whether the whole season they've been kind of. No one said a word about Western, and we've gone along, and everyone's talked about Victory and City, and I think now people will realise that we're right up there.
Lachie, you mentioned that about there's almost that sense of a chip on your shoulder among the whole team about everyone's talking about the other 2 Melbourne teams, but no one's really talking about Western United. Is that something that you guys chat about as a group? Something that you talk about? Like, we really feel like we have to prove a point during this period. Like, what's sort of the message amongst you guys?
Oh, to be honest, mate, it's actually perfect. We're all pretty low-key blokes, and I think, the City and Victory boys have, they like the. It's pretty good for us. We're just going about our work, and there's no journalist or anything coming down to Essendon to interview us or anything, and we're loving it that way. To be honest, it's good, and we're just preparing for every game and trying to get 3 points in every game, because in the A-League you can turn up and you can either win or get done by anyone on the day. So our aim the whole season is just to prepare as well as we can. And, in every game in the A-League, you're a chance of winning.
Isn't life peaceful without these pesky journo types like Nick here turning up and spoiling your day?
It's all right. We'll be there on Friday. John's doing a presser. We'll be there, Lachie. Don't you worry. Be careful what you wish for now, mate.
Lachie, you've been playing as a number 10 at times this season, which is a new position for you. Have you adapted to that role?
Yeah, it's been good playing a bit more centrally. Obviously, with the injury to Dia, we've kind of shared the load a bit in there. At times we've used Stevie, Wenzel Halls, myself, to not fill a hole, but, try different combinations and see what works there. So it's a position where I started at the Mariners, where I played my first, 10, 11 professional games there. So it's not completely new to me, but it's been really enjoyable. It's, a similar role for me in there anyway, in terms of the pressing and, making forward runs from that position. So it's been really enjoyable, and I guess it's a good thing if you can play multiple positions. It, can help the team out when there's some injuries there.
Well, Lachie, you broke your goal drought playing in that role the other day. Not once, but you scored 3 times against Perth Glory and Tassie. Did you find yourself maybe getting in better areas playing as a 10 in that game compared to other times? Did you feel like you were thriving in that sort of game? And, really just take us through it as a whole. I mean, you hadn't scored all season. It obviously had been documented through a few commentators. And, once the first went through, it just seemed like you couldn't stop.
Yeah, as I said before, it's a funny one. Like statistics in football, commentators, people look a lot into statistics. I think last year I scored more goals, but I've been playing a lot better this year and hadn't scored. So you kind of think you're in good form, but you're not actually scoring. And I provided a few assists. So it was a funny one. And the first one I knew nothing about, which is probably just what I needed. That little bit of luck, and then that relief kind of goes out of your body, and the second one you just close your eyes and hit as hard as you can with a bit of confidence. So I mean, for me, the individual goals or things like that, it doesn't really matter. I just think we're in such a good we have such a good opportunity as a team to win something. At the moment we're trying to win the Premier's Plate, and it would be awesome if we can do that as a team.
It's been a real breakout year for you in terms of how much responsibility you've been entrusted with in the team. Is that just a natural evolution of you as you mature as a player, or are there particular things you think you've improved on and worked on?
Yeah, I think for young Australian players, I've seen it a lot lately. It's probably just getting that consistent run of games. I mean, in my career at Melbourne City, the most games I started in a row was 3 or 4. So I think to play, start 22 games or 23 games in a row and, have the trust of the coach that you're not going to be sitting next to him next week if you do have a bad game. I think that's been the best thing for me. And your body almost adapts to the games. You find yourself in those situations a bit more where you're one-on-one with the keeper, or, your final product, I guess. You get in that position maybe, 10 more times than what you're getting in if you're playing off the bench or if you're in and out of the team. So I think game time's been massive for me, and playing in a top team. There's so many seasoned professionals around me. Kilkenny, Topper Stanley, Diamante, Lee Lacroix. There's just Prirovic. There's players that have played at the top level, and when you're in that winning environment, it just seems a lot easier as a young player just to bring your, energetic kind of game, which is what I have, and it seems to rub off on them as well.
Lachie, just taking it back a couple of weeks, John has spoken a lot about your response after the Wellington game. He said that you guys felt embarrassed and you felt like that you let yourselves down in that game, and there was a real response and a real look to get a response against Perth and throughout that Tassie trip. Can you take us through, I guess, that week and sort of the risk guys did on the track to ensure that wouldn't happen again?
Yeah, to be honest, that week leading into Wellington, we were really flat. It was kind of the first time the whole season we almost seemed like we lacked energy in training. We had a long turnaround as well, so we had no excuse of being tired or anything. And it almost just seemed, just a disaster week really for us. We just didn't train well, and, went to Ballarat and, probably made a few excuses for ourselves there as well. And, we got done by Wellington and, pretty convincingly as well. And, it was actually funny. A few of the boys just sent into the group message after, and we had a couple of days off, and they just said, "Look, everyone come back on Monday, and let's really leave no excuses. So to have them boys kind of stand up and say that the training standards hadn't been good enough for that last week, that Monday, Tuesday session after Wellington was pretty fiery. I think, a few young boys were kicking a few of the older players, and it was really competitive. And it showed when we went to Tassie. We played that first game, and people say Perth had a young team, but it was you've got to beat what's in front of you, and we did it well, and it gave us confidence for that next game. And I think that MacArthur performance kind of typifies us this season. Hard to beat, very structured defensively, and will hurt you on the counter attack. And it's exactly what we did to them, and it was a professional performance, and it's put us in a good position.
And how important was that Tassie trip? I mean, you were on the road for, a good almost a week, and you've got another situation now coming up where you got 3 road games in a week. Did that situation kind of set you up well for what's coming in this next week as well, getting away with the team, having a bit of time to bond together and obviously play games in quick succession as well?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I think some of the boys will tell you that they had the week from hell. I was all up and about. There was a game of 21 going, a card game, and it went for about 4 days. And there was a few boys getting under each other's skins in that, and laugh. We were all kind of getting on really well, and it was good just to get that togetherness. I think it's something that that 6-0 win kind of brought us closer, and then the next couple of days were really enjoyable training and, going around Tassie to do some promotional things. And the boys just really seemed to bond. And, there was a few boys there that think they're pretty red hot at cards. But I'll give you one tip: don't sit next to Ben Collins in the game of 21.
He's dangerous, is he?
Oh mate, I don't think he won a hand the whole trip. He's got a big chip on his shoulder, big barrel. He thinks he's a card genius, but he was terrible, worst on ground.
I would have thought Ben would be like the most honest, terrible poker face, kind of, give everything away.
That's the thing that didn't help him was the honesty. There was a few boys playing dirty. Wenzel Halls, Ryan Scott. Ryan Scott played cards for 16 hours and won a game and thought he was the man. So there's definitely a few boys that think they're good at that game, and I'm sure it'll be back on in Sydney.
I assume you came away with the bragging rights then.
No, I was my aim was just to frustrate people, and I did that, so I was happy. I had to, I got me marching orders from Scotty. He said, you got to go spend some time in the room and don't come out for a bit. So had to leave them alone a bit and let them do their thing for a bit. But it was all in good fun. But that's the kind of thing on those little trips that make it so enjoyable for us boys. It's not even the fact that we're training together or playing like games in a short space. It's just like such a laugh and such a giggle that you forget that you even have a game, and the games are just the enjoyable bit at the end.
I think that's how we know Lachie Wales has done his job in the team when he gets sent for a timeout by Ryan Scott.
Yeah.
So, coming up against your former club, not new for you at this point, of course, but what is it like going back to Gosford? I assume you've got some family and friends in the crowd there?
Yeah, it's an awesome place, to grow up in Gosford, in Terrigal. I was there till I was 19, so I went to school there and, made so many friends, and, all my family still live down there. So, it was awesome, living on the beach and, playing all different sports. And so for them to be able to come out and watch, they get to watch one game a year now out there. I'm sure they'll be all out there, and you'll definitely know about it. They'll be making some noise. So, it'll be great to get down there, and it's a top pitch there, and the Mariners are doing well. So I think there'll be a pretty big crowd there in Gosford. They seem to get around the boys for the F3 derby, so it'll be a top game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Lachie, but when you last played the Mariners up in Gosford, obviously it was very different circumstances, last game of the season. I'm not sure from memory if you played that game, but things now are very, very different. I mean, there's a lot more on the line this time around, even for them too. Has that been spoken about? I mean, there's 11 days. You've had 11 days between games now to kind of prepare for this. So what's been the message heading into this weekend?
To be fair, it's just been how we've prepared for every other game. Obviously, as a player, you kind of know now what's at stake, and you kind of don't talk about it, in group meetings or anything. We've kind of avoided talking about, if we win 3 or, if this happens, because the A-League's been so funny this season that, if you don't treat every game and prepare for every game well, you're not gonna be able to win. So to be fair, the boys have been pretty relaxed. We do definitely realise that the Mariners can hurt us, especially up top with Cummings, Urania. They're probably their 2 most dangerous players, and it's something that, if we can nullify those 2 players, that'll help us a lot, and hopefully we can expose them.
And I think the crowd supporting Lachie Wales will be pretty significant contingent. There'll be the Mariners fans, the Western United away fans, and the Lachie Wales fans, because they know you're starting this time, right?
Yeah, I think I don't know if the Mariners fans will be too kind. I think I was young when I was there, and I loved the club, and spent since I was 15 to 20 odd there. So it was honestly really enjoyable, and without the Mariners, I don't think I would have ever got a chance in the A-League, and I'm honestly really grateful for that.
Any chance to catch some waves while you're down there, or are you quickly on to the next one?
I think I'll be banned from surfing. We're not even staying on the coast. We're staying in Sydney, so it's we've got a bit of a base there, so we can go down to the Mariners and then obviously go up to the Jets the night before. So I'll enjoy it while I'm there, and obviously catch up with my family and my dad, and then concentrate on to the next one. And I'm sure, fingers crossed, if we can win something, I'll definitely go back to the coast in the off season and celebrate with the people that I love.
Well, all business heading into the end of the season. A couple of really important games against the Mariners and Jets away in the next week. It all comes down to this, Nick.
All does, and even that Adelaide game as well. It's all looming. Lachie, thank you so much for joining us here on the Green Room, mate. Good luck for this weekend. Good luck for the whole week. I mean, it's going to be a massive week for you guys, and hopefully there's a nice shiny reward on the other side of it.
Cheers, boys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Lachie. He's not getting too carried away too quickly. That's what we like to see. He's very, very grounded.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, they're 3 big games. So Saturday afternoon at 4:05 p.m. at Blue Tongue Central Coast Stadium, the Mariners taking on Western United. Wednesday night at 7. That is on the 4th of May. Newcastle taking on Western United. And then obviously on Sunday, the final game of the season, 6:20 p.m. on Sunday at Highmarsh Stadium, Adelaide versus Western United. These are not going to be easy games, and they're going to need all hands on deck. 3 tough games, 2 teams who have it all to play for. I mean, Adelaide at this point probably playing for seeding in the top 6. They'll want to be getting a home final. The Mariners probably even more desperate, looking to lock their spot inside the top 6. And Newcastle just want to play spoiler by that stage as well. So it's going to be a fun week because on top of that as well, Western United are equally as desperate because, as we do know, you win all 3, you win the Premier's Plate, and that is so exciting.
Well, I think the squad have been well prepared this week, being away in Tasmania with Lachie Wales. Jason Cummings ain't getting under anyone's skin after that.
No.
They've built up their immunity to that sort of thing.
Yeah, and just don't put Ben Collins in the fence against Jason Cummings. He might say a bit too much, and that might work against them if Lachie Wales' intel is correct. So, it will be fun nonetheless. I'm looking forward to watching these games. It's going to be really, really big to see if they can get the job done. And then after that, it gets the nitty-gritty. It's finals time. So this is a big time for Western United and their supporter base. Really, really exciting.
Big week. We're going to take a short break because we've got another guest on the other side. It's a big week for the MPL 3 outfit juniors. Equal top of the MPL 3 table after a madcap 4-3 win over Doveton. And we've got Diogo Ferreira, assistant coach. You'll know him from his playing days in the A-League and his coaching roles at MPL level as well. Excited to talk to him on the other side here on the Green Room, presented by Simonds Homes.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website dkpco.com.au or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Long throw, goalkeeper's come, hasn't got there. Harry Kewell, and then poked home by Tim Cahill. Australia have done it. 6 minutes to go, and it's a landmark moment for Australian football. Tim Cahill has scored the nation's first ever World Cup Finals goal.
You're listening to FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Western United, can they find something here?
Big chance, Barissa. He's done it again.
And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Barrios, his first touch of the game. Sanchez! Western United do claim the 3 points. And Diamante again! Oh, he's done it! Twice! He's chipped a keeper!
Presented by Simonds. It's The Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio. Welcome back to The Green Room from the FNR Football Nation Radio studios. I'm Josh Parrish, joined this week by fill-in co-host Nick Debano. We're excited about the senior men's team in action against Central Coast and Newcastle Jets. Away trips over the next week, which could determine the location of the Premier's Plate in the A-League. But we're equally excited about Western United's young brigade, equal top of the NPL3 Victoria standings after a madcap 4-3 win over Doveton on the weekend. Must have been an incredible game. And to tell us all about it, it's one of our new recruits, assistant coach Diogo Ferreira. Diogo, welcome to the Green Room and welcome to the club.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure, mate. For fans who are a little too young to remember your A-League playing days, give us a rundown of your footballing CV so far and some of the clubs you've coached at.
Yes, obviously played in the A-League for a while, but in terms of, coaching, kind of decided to semi-retire at about the age of 32 when I returned back from Japan. I guess I always knew that I would make a better coach than I did as a player, so I thought I might as well get started. I was assistant coach at Melbourne Knights last year, and until a couple of weeks ago, I was still there for this season also, and obviously now at Western United.
So what enticed you over to the club to team up with Anthony Frost and co?
When Anthony Frost, he actually delivered one of my coaching licenses, so we kind of stayed in touch there. And then, he gave me a call saying that he got the job and he wanted me to, to come over and be part of it. And obviously it's an amazing opportunity to almost be, to be part of something when it's so fresh and so new. So I thought great opportunity, good for me also to learn under someone like Anthony with such great knowledge, and that will really help me, in my coaching career.
Well, Diogo, let's go to this weekend that's just passed. I mean, come from behind win against Doveton, a team last season who were right up there amongst the top sides in NPL3 at the cancellation. 2-1 down, you guys were able to come out with a 4-3 win. Take us through the day. It seemed like it was a crazy, crazy game.
Honestly, it was crazy. It was a bit of a blur towards the end. I couldn't even remember who scored the third goal. That's how crazy it was. 1-0 down, 1-1. 3-1 down, and then we scored a couple. I think we scored close to the 90th minute, I think, to make it 3-3, and then last minute we ended up scoring again off a set piece, which was great. These kind of games bring the team together, and it's that belief for, you know, in the future when we are down, that we know we're capable of coming back.
93rd minute was the winner from young Jake Nadolski. We spoke to him a couple of weeks ago on this program. He's a confident young man.
Crazy. You should have seen his celebration as well. Top came off.
That's why there's a yellow card next to his name. There we go. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Can you describe the goal for us, the moment?
It was a set piece. I think Christian took it, Ferreira, and just floated into the box, and Jakey with a big header. So unmarked in the box. But it was actually a really good finish. It was good to see also everyone celebrating together, coaches, players, which was fantastic.
Well, Diogo, it's been, as a whole, a really promising start to the season. I mean, second on the ladder right now after 6 games. Everything's looking quite good. In these first 6 games, what are some of the positive things that I guess you've seen, you know, watching on from the sidelines?
Look, we've got a bunch of players that, you know, at the end of the day, even my experience coming out to Western United, you're with a bunch of young kids that, you know, want to make it as professionals. So they all want to push in the same direction. There's a lot of good talent. Also with the boys that have been dropping down to get some game time for the seniors, they've been unbelievable. You know, I've been in their shoes before as a player, and it's very easy to drop down and not really care. But the way they've come, they've set the standard for all the other boys. So really impressed with that.
Speaking of Jake, when we spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, we asked him what his goal was personally for the season, and he reckoned he wanted to score 20 goals, which we sort of scoffed at and said, you know, applaud the intention, young man, but that's a lofty target. He's already got 4. Can he do it?
Look, if you see what he does on a daily at training, then he's definitely capable of doing it. Yeah, he pulls out some unbelievable things, and I don't think it'll take too long for us to start seeing him in the senior setup, I'm sure, if he keeps going the way he is.
Well, just for some of the other players that are coming through, and obviously for the fans listening on, who are some of the players to really keep an eye on? I mean, there's a few familiar names in NPL circles, guys like Adam Alhayek and Yanni Panakos. Are these sort of players to keep an eye on in, I guess, the next couple of years? Is there anyone that's in particular caught your eye?
Look, there's a lot, and it would be a bit harsh for me just to single out a few people. But everyone's, you know, it's cliche, but everyone is working hard. Everyone's really trying to get that opportunity. We've got a couple boys that have, Chabelle that's come over from Melbourne City, he's training day in, day out with the seniors. We've got Sabit that's gone and trained with the seniors as well, and he's made an appearance in the FFA Cup. And there's a lot of players that are literally there or thereabouts. You know, it's about, you know, preparing themselves, and then when that opportunity does come along, that they take it.
What's the sort of playing style that you're trying to implement with this group of players? I know it's a lot of it is about individual development, but in terms of crafting the team, you know, alongside Anthony.
Look, we want to play attractive football. We want to let the kids, you know, these talented kids express themselves. There's no point. You're not going to see us drop into a, you know, really low block and just absorb pressure. You know, we want to press teams. We want to try and win the ball as high as possible. We want to be positive when we've got the ball, you know, fast, aggressive, attacking football. And it gives them the best chance to express themselves, and for us to, you know, create those X factor type players that are going to make a difference when they get their opportunities in the seniors.
How do you balance that with also wanting to get results in a league where some of the other teams have no such pretensions of playing attractive football? Yes, the other A-League academy sides nominally will want to do that, but there's a lot of sort of seasoned, older pros in that competition, and a lot of away grounds that you visit with tiny pitches that are a bit torn up, and, you know, the boys are going to get a lot of older, more experienced NPL players. I guess there's an extra edge to it because the A-League academy side's rolling into town and they want to show them what's what and put in a few big physical challenges. How do you implement that playing style in those kind of challenging environments?
Yeah, it's hard. And to be honest, if I was on the receiving end, I wouldn't want to be chasing around these young kids all day either. So, but it's a learning curve for them. It's we want to play attractive football. When we get them on our home pitch and a few other pitches out there, we are able to do that without it being too tough. But it's about them learning that there's going to be tough conditions. Yes, it's about developing players, but they've got to have the will to win, and they've got to know what it takes to win under different circumstances. So ideally, yes, you want to try and, get up there and get promoted. So you're playing against better teams and teams that, try to play a little bit, try to play football a little bit more. But until then, they've just got to graft, and they've got to learn how to win in these conditions.
So, looking ahead to this weekend, Diogo, Melbourne Victory, another academy side, another big game. What are some of the things you're expecting from this game? What are some of the things you're looking forward to, and you can expect from them this weekend as well?
Look, it's we've played them in pre-season, and when you do play against one of the other A-League teams, it's going to be competitive. Both teams are going to try and play football. You're not worried about, for example, with all the respect, you're playing against a team like Box Hill where, they're playing for long throws, just say, and getting everyone in the box. They're going to try and break you down, and it creates different challenges. And also it's an opportunity for our younger players. I'm sure, having a look at the senior fixture for the A-League, I'm sure that Melbourne Victory are going to have quite a few senior players drop down. So it's a good challenge for for our youth boys to, test themselves against some professionals also.
This might be my bias talking based on a role I have outside of FNR, but Preston Lions are playing against Western United the week after. It's a home game for you guys at Georgie's. I've got my eye on that as one of the games of the season because Preston bring the away following. We know that they're a historic club, and they've got a lot of talent in that team. And I think that will be. I was actually speaking to one of your players, Noah. I ran into him at Ultra Football a little while ago, and he was speaking fondly of that Preston game as the biggest crowd he's played in front of, and such a formative experience last season of that high pressure environment. That's got to be a great learning experience for the players.
100%. For us, looking at the next couple of weeks, they're massive. You got Victory and then Preston. And again, it's just these opportunities. At the end of the day, we're trying to produce professionals, people that can take that step up, and playing under pressure with crowd around, that's what they're going to get if they do take that step. So again, just a fantastic opportunity for them to test themselves in those environments.
And for the Western Suburbs boys in the group, because I know Western United do put an emphasis obviously on finding the best talents out there, but also finding local players from the area. Western United eventually producing their own talent as a relatively new team in the A-League environment. That's got to be a long-term goal for the program, right? Yeah,
it's massive. And obviously next year the academy is going to roll out. So there's going to be a whole crop of new kids coming through that you can instill, and you kind of set up a culture around your academy and the way you want to play also. So hopefully you see that as they get older, you've got those players that have been in the system for a while.
This team seems to have a habit of leaving it late with some dramatic finishes. I know you've only just arrived, Matt, but we already saw it against, I think it was Melbourne City earlier in the season. Yes. So that must fill you with a little bit of confidence that these guys have a bit of mental metal, shall we say, when it gets to those high pressure moments.
Definitely, because, we are going to find ourselves in those situations throughout the year, and having the belief like this week, you're down by a goal and in 3 minutes or 4 minutes you turn it around, you end up getting the 3 points. So it's important. It's really important because we'll have, I'm sure, a few more games like that.
Well, with the senior boys on the road, if you're not making the away trip up to Gosford or Newcastle or indeed Adelaide in a little while, this is a perfect time to go down and watch the NPL side. Wouldn't it be great to get some of the Western Service crew down in the next 2 weeks when you've got a couple of home games at Caroline Springs?
It'd be fantastic, especially with all the Preston supporters. We need some supporters as well, so we'd love to have everyone down there.
Absolutely. Well, that's coming up on Sunday, the 1st of May, 3 p.m. kickoff against Melbourne Victory, and then the following Friday is an 8:15 p.m. kickoff under the lights. Diogo, welcome to the club. Great to have you on board, and thanks for your time tonight.
Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it.
Well, we're going to go to another short break because we've got to hear from the fans tonight as well, Nick. We've got Jay Sutcliffe, super fan, who made the trip down to Tasmania. We're going to hear from him about what that was like on the other side of this break.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice
Perfect,
to
mate.
developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website dkpco.com.au or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Penalty conceding kind of situation, but Atkinson did well. Avoid the top. Oh my goodness! Have you seen a more freakish goal in A-League history? Riley McGreen with a scorpion kick into the top corner. It's one of the most amazing things we've ever seen. Come on, Ernie, on your feet.
You're listening to FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Maloney takes, and it's in! It's Ben Watson! It's Ben Watson for Wigan Athletic! They've surely won the FA Cup! For Dave Whelan, for Roberto Martinez! You just cannot write scripts like this!
Marcelo, the three to pick out. It's the spectacular. It's Gareth Bale. Wonderful goal. Sensational from Gareth Bale.
You're listening to FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Since 1998, Lanco Group has been providing superior civil engineering solutions and advice to developers, local government and service authorities across Australia. Lanco Group is known for delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. By working closely with clients, Lanco Group is able to meet the complex infrastructure requirements for residential, commercial and industrial developments on time, on budget. Find out more at lancogroup.com.au. Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions.
Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is! And the whole of this ground stands and applauds the 19-year-old. Have you seen a better goal than that anywhere? I very much doubt it.
You're listening to FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Are you looking to change your destiny in life? Be your own boss? Start your own business? If you are, you need people who understand your needs and are committed to helping you make it happen. At DKP & Co Chartered Accountants, we are more than just accountants. We are business advisors, taxation consultants and strategists that specialise in setting up businesses. We understand the client and give them the very best customised advice and strategies to achieve their goals. Visit our website dkpco.com.au or give us a call today on 03 9023 9370. Fast, proactive, personal. That's DKP & Co Chartered Accountants.
Western United, can they find something here?
Big chance, Ferreira. He's done it again.
And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Ferreira, his first touch of the game. Sanchez! Western United do claim the 3 points. And Diamante again. Oh, he's done it twice. He's chipped a keeper.
Presented by Simonds. It's The Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
For the final time this Wednesday night, welcome back to the Green Room here on FNR, Football Nation Radio, presented by Simonds Homes, the great Australian builder. I'm Josh Parrish. I've got Nick DeBano here with me, and we're delighted to be joined by Jay Sutcliffe, Western United superfan, who made the away trip down to Tasmania over the weekend to watch 6 goals go in. A away trip well spent, mate. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
You must have enjoyed yourself with so many goals to celebrate.
Yeah, worth the price of admission, 6 goals. And even though it was technically a home game, definitely felt like an away trip. But the support we got there was pretty tremendous. So, I'm glad that the Tassie fans got to see us put on a good show as well.
So that's what you're telling us off air during the break. It's not just the Western Service crew guys who made the extra effort to fly down, but also some of the locals were getting into it as well.
Yeah. A few of the boys from the Devonport Soccer Club, we actually got in touch with them the week before we left. They wanted to jump in on the active because we actually noticed them. I think it was at the Perth game earlier this year. They were trying to, they were doing a few chants as well. So they jumped in. They were more than happy to, learn a few chants and, just help add to the atmosphere of the game.
Well, Jay, I mean, tell us a bit about, I guess, your experiences as a Western United fan. I mean, this is only season 3 of the club. I guess, how did you, get into supporting Western United? Like, what's been your experiences and your fan journey supporting the team?
We sort of, I jumped on Western United before they had colours or a name. We were all about the bid, getting a stadium out in Tarneet and, getting a team out here. Just going through Facebook groups with a couple of mates that were also like-minded. We found a couple of other people that were looking to start an active. They had a name, the Western Service Crew. So we thought, we'll jump on this grassroots, get around it. And then it's slowly grown to, now there's dozens and dozens of people that we see week in, week out. And all in a very short 3 years, made a bunch of mates, started our own little podcast as well. I never had met any of those guys before then. So, sort of just went looking, didn't have to look very hard and put in a little bit of effort and got all the rewards. Clubs helped us out a lot as well with the active. So, just looking forward to playing home finals this year.
Well, I guess in terms of this season, Jay, how have you seen it as a fan? I mean, last year it was tough. I mean, started the season really well and then there was a fade off towards the end. But this year it's been a real, consistent season of positive results. Are you starting to feel more and more confident that maybe this season, that Western United could actually make that leap and potentially there is a bit of a nice bit of silverware waiting on the other side, whether it's the premiership or the championship?
We've put in good performances against the best teams this year. We've come away with, all the points against City. We've played some hard games. But if you look at where we are on the table, look at the squad we've got, I think we've got a pretty, our best starting 11 is probably one of the best in the league, if not the best. And I do think we've got depth on the bench. And we're finding, obviously with a 6-0 win, we're able to score goals now like we weren't at the start of the season. So, if we keep up that rock solid defence, definitely be challenging for a grand final, not just the Premier's Plate.
Well, you've had the number of the big teams, as you say, and Lid coming off on Saturday, the 16th, I should say. It's not over the weekend, but the week before. Lachie Wales scoring that hat-trick. We spoke to him a little bit earlier. I think he felt a bit of a sense of relief that his goal route was finally broken. It must have been great to see that in person.
Yeah, it was. We were talking about before that game as well, how, he's got a bunch of assists, but he needs to grab that goal because, he deserves it, and he grabbed 3 in under 45. So very, very proud to see Lachie grab all 3. He told me, I asked for another hat-trick against MacArthur when we were at the training session on the Sunday, but he didn't deliver. That's all right. We still got the 3 points.
You'll take the 2-0 win, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I noticed you've got that shirt behind you, AOW 100. I have a feeling I've worked it out, but tell us the significance of those letters, mate.
We actually recently, last week, hit 100 episodes on our podcast, the All Out West podcast, which, we just sort of started. Shout out to Scotty, to Wallace, who helps produce it, to Kelsey, to Leb, and all the other regulars. It's just sort of started as a bunch of blokes having a beer once a week and just talking a bit of smack about the footy. And all of a sudden, bang, we've done 100 episodes in 3 years. Not always, consistent. Sometimes it's hard to get everyone. We've all got jobs and families outside of it. But, the club actually gave us this as a gift for the 100 episodes, which, we were pretty stoked to hit. So, shout out to Weston for that one as well.
Well, Jay, congratulations for that one. And also looking ahead to this week, 3 away trips. What's the plan for you? Are you going to be heading up for any of these games yourself? There's the midweek game isn't necessarily helpful, I guess, for anyone hoping to make the away trip, but there's 2 really good away days against Central Coast and Adelaide. Are you and some of your other friends in the active area looking to make the move or the trip up?
A few of the guys, obviously we went down to Tassie, so that was we usually do a couple of away trips a season. That was one of them. We're also just holding off to see if we make finals, and if we have to play an away game, save some money for that. But if we get 2 wins out of 2, would not surprise me if there's a few last minute bookings down to Adelaide. I am still looking at it. It's just, obviously the work balance as well. But I do know there's a lot of we do have a few fans out in Adelaide that would be keen to get down to that game. So, if you are a West United fan in Adelaide, implore you to get down to that one. Because last time we had an away trip there, it was probably one of our best away turnouts. And it was, I think we won 5-1 in the end. So hopefully they can replicate that.
Yeah,
in 2 weeks' time.
You talk about away turnouts. Cooper Stadium is arguably one of the best places to go to watch football, even as an away supporter as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's probably my, I've done a couple. I've done Wellington. I've done Tassie a couple of times. But I'd have to say for the pure match watching experience, I'd have to say Cooper Stadium is the best one. Grouse little stadium.
So speaking of stadiums, we've heard news on the development front on the new stadium that the developments are underway for the initial phase, at least. That must excite you as a supporter to see ground broken on the new infrastructure.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, with COVID and all that throwing a spanner in the works, it has pushed things back a little. But ultimately, it's good to see the club, following through with their promise. At least the training ground's getting up. That's going to be a 5,000 seater. Could definitely play, interstate teams there. Hopefully as late as, late 2023 or something like that. It'd be great to see games played down in Tarneit.
And I think I might be inferring too much here, but it seems like it's been something of a bonding experience for the new supporters to have this sort of travelling circus thing going on where you're going to different grounds every time. I feel like once, you've got your feet under the table in the new stadium in the west of Melbourne, it'll be the old guys in the active telling these whippersnappers how it used to be when we were in Geelong and Ballarat and Tassie every week.
when we were being nomads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be part of the legend and the lore of the supporters.
Yeah. Well, it was always going to be a little bit of a rough start, especially, COVID as well. These seasons get pushed back, fixtures get thrown around, so it's hard to find a ground at times. But, I think once it's built in Tarneet as well, it'll be a lot easier it's like a central spot in the West. So like Geelong fans won't have to travel 2 hours on a train, for instance, to get to Amy Park anymore. It's 40 minutes and you're in Tarneet. I'm lucky I live around the corner. I can drive there. So, I'm very keen to be playing a few games a bit closer to home.
Absolutely.
Well, you've got a chance to watch the Young Brigade as well. We were talking about it before the break with Diogo, equal top of the NPL 3 Victoria table, and catching a few glimpses of the players who were making a name for themselves. Young Jake Nadovsky has made a habit of scoring last-minute winners. Is there any appetite from the fans to with these away games in Central Coast and Newcastle over the next few weeks, to head down to Georgie's on Vista to the Caroline Springs ground and watch the youth team play?
I reckon as long as it doesn't conflict with Western playing, because obviously we'll be at the pub or at somebody's house to watch that one. I reckon definitely at least one of them will try and get some numbers down. And watch a local game, like one more, a smaller game at a smaller ground. They are fun.
Well, as Diogo was saying, we know Preston's going to bring some fans for that game on the Friday the 6th. So it would be nice to have some dedicated support that day, just to compete with the away following, if anything else. I think that one's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. So I've got that one penciled in. I don't know about you, Nick.
Absolutely. I mean, if I'm not working that night, I have to make the trek down.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's at Georgie's, which is a great little ground to watch football, actually.
That's fantastic. Nice little setup there with the grandstand and
good hospitality in the bistro as well.
Fantastic.
So good relationship that the club has with Caroline Springs, George Cross. Jay, we're just about out of time tonight, mate, but congratulations on the 100 podcasts. And, I think you've, by displaying it, given us a few ideas as well. We've got to count up the number of Green Room episodes we've done and request our custom shirt as well. Congratulations, mate, and thanks so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you very much, guys.
Jay Sutcliffe, Western United superfan who made the trip down to Tassie. I hope we'll see him at Hindmarsh Stadium come the end of the season as well, Nick. Let's look ahead to these games. Central Coast Mariners versus Western United coming up on Saturday, the 30th of April, 4:05 p.m. kickoff in Gosford. This is the game of the round for me.
Absolutely.
Just in terms of the entertainment value on offer for both sides, how much there is to play for, and the dramatic nature of the game last time out in Ballarat, where Western United snatched that point with Jamie Young making the penalty save.
Absolutely, and they would have had to take a lot out of that game from last time, because when they, to put it bluntly, they were very, very lucky to come away with a point on that day. But then there was part of it where Western United actually battled back from a goal down, took the lead early in the second half, but they conceded the equaliser very, very soon after. So that was as Lachie spoke about, a bit of that rough, flat patch for them. This is going to be a very different game. There's a lot more riding on this game. It's going to be in Gosford, where we can expect a pretty decent turnout. I mean, the Mariners fans, when they're playing well, they do turn up. They do make a lot of noise. It's going to be an interesting one, because we spoke about last time these two teams played in Gosford, Josh. It was the last game of last season, and Western United were not playing for anything bar pride, and they got knocked off. The Mariners, at the end of the day, they were celebrating. They locked in finals. They locked in a home final as well. There's a lot on the line here, because if they lose, they got Victory playing the night before against Wellington. Wellington wins that game, or Victory wins that game, it's pressure on Western United. But if they win that game as well, they go right to the top.
Game in hand on Melbourne City.
Absolutely. This is the last game. This is the last game in hand. This is it.
So this is the opportunity to leapfrog and go number one on the table and have the destiny, the title, the Premier's plate under their control, in their hands. And after that, midweek trip to face the Newcastle Jets.
The box office Jets. That's going to be an interesting one. I mean,
for better or worse, let's
say.
The
Absolutely.
box office Jets.
So this is going to be a fun game.
They tend to score goals. They tend to cop goals.
Yeah.
So end-to-end ridiculous action, as we saw with the F3 derby over the weekend, the red card. Just let's not get too riled up by Matt Simon, even if he's not playing.
Yeah, well,
Daniel
Pena's suspended.
He fell into that trap.
Yeah, so just got news. Daniel Pena's actually suspended for that game. They have a chance to appeal tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see whether the Jets do that. But that plays perfectly into the favour for Western United. Jets without arguably their best player, their most creative player in behind Becca Mikkeltadze. But defensively, Newcastle haven't been great, and Western United have in the last few weeks. I mean, they've basically scored in every game in their past, at least doing a bit of quick maths, their last 6 games. So they haven't really had a lean patch in front of goal. At one point, it was only 1-0 wins, but they're starting to get a couple on the board. So this is a good opportunity for guys like, your Lachie Wales's, your Alexander Prievic's, your Connor Paynes to really impact this kind of game. But I just wonder, in this little patch, we'll get to the Adelaide game in a sec, whether we'll see Alessandro Diamanti make his return at some point. We haven't seen him since the end of February. The last time he played was actually in the famous Ben Garuccio scorpion kick game against the Wanderers. He got hurt that game. It's been 2 months. I mean, it'd be a great sort of addition just before finals to get him in, whether it's off the bench or whatever. But you have to think he's chomping at the bit, and maybe that game against the Jets presents itself if they can ease him off the bench in a game, if they get ahead in a bit of a, I don't want to say lower stakes game, but against a team that maybe aren't as desperate, it might actually suit him quite well, and then build his minutes up in the next week.
What a time to make your return. Be nice to have Diamanti available for these crunch matches. And then, as we say, Adelaide on the Sunday. There's a long road to get to before that. 3 games in the space of a week. But if the Premier's Plate is in play that day, I think we're going to see plenty of away supporters booking last-minute trips out there to see the club win their first ever piece of silverware.
Well, it will null and void the City game the night after. They play Wellington their last game of the season. So Western United know basically that game at 6:20 p.m. could be massive. It could be title deciding. It could be big for Adelaide. It's the United Derby, if you want to put some sort of tag on it. It's big. I mean, Adelaide's won their last 3. They're playing in between then. They've got just pulling that up, Brisbane Roar. So there's a good chance they'll go in 4 unbeaten. They've played a lot of games at home. So this is going to be a red-hot contest between 2 of the form sides. I can't wait for it. But before then, they have to get through Saturday. Saturday's the big one against the Mariners. That is going to be a cracking contest. You speak about game of the round. For me, it's not even a debate. That is for sure going to be the game of the round. And, it's so much on the line for the winners, but a lot on the line as well for the losers, because it just puts, just creates a bit of an extra spanner in the works. But this is that final vaunted game in hand. But they've always had the 3 games in hand. This is it, because then City are back after this weekend.
And a word on our affiliated women's team, Calder United playing away at Bayside on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. The week after that is a blockbuster against South Melbourne on the Saturday home game at 3 p.m. That one's on the 7th. I'm not sure what's happening in the show next week because we are clashing with the Western United game.
Clashing with the game.
So we'll see what we can work out for next time. But
we might come back in a fortnight with a special, post Premier's Plate edition.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Because, they'll have the week off. That's the beauty of it. Top 2, you get the week off. You have the opportunity. Maybe we might get it in studio. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
We'll see if we have some crockery to polish in 2 weeks' time. Nick, it's been a pleasure having your company,
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
And a big thank you to Simonds Homes for supporting the program as well. This has been The Green Room on FNR. We'll speak to you again soon.
Western United, can they find something here? Big chance, Ferreira! He's done it again! And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Ferreira, his first touch of the game. Sanchez! Western United do claim the 3 points. And Diamanti again! Oh, he's done it! Twice! He's chipped a keeper!
Presented by Simonds. It's The Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio.